大家好，我是 Eddie. Hi guys, this is Eddie. Welcome to ChineseEddieG. In today's lesson, we're going to study HSK Level 1 textbook, Lesson 2. First, let's take a look at the title. 谢谢你,谢谢你 means thank you. 谢谢 together means thank. 你 is you, literally thank you. 谢谢你. But in a casual conversation, you can omit 你. You can just say 谢谢. Thank you, thanks. Now let's take a look at the text. Conversation number 1. 谢谢,不谢. Second time. 谢谢,不谢. 不 means no. And for this character, actually, it's a polyphone. It has two different tones. Number one is bu, and the second pronunciation is fourth tone, bu, bu. So we will explain the rules of changing tones, but here, let's pronounce it as bu, bu xie. Bu means no, xie means thank. So no thank. That's kind of like you say not a problem or not at all. Okay, second conversation. 谢谢你,不客气. Second time. 谢谢你,不客气. 谢谢 means thank. 你, that's you. Well, the second conversation is very similar with the first. The difference is the answer. In the first conversation, the answer is 不谢. The second, 不客气. 不客气 means you're welcome. If you ask me in reality which answer will be more frequently used, I would say the percentage is the same. So feel free to give a response of these two ways. When people say thank you, say 谢谢 to you. Now let's move on to conversation number 3. 再见,再见,再见,再见. In a casual conversation, we can also say bye bye, bye bye, and it sounds like bye in English. It's like bye bye, and we use the first tone to read the phrase bye bye. Got it? Now moving on to the next part, let's practice initials and finals of Chinese pinyin. And in lesson 1, we have already practiced a few initials and finals. Now this is the second set. Now let's start with initials in this lesson. Please follow me to read. The first one, 知, 知. The second, 吃, 吃. The third, 诗, 诗. The fourth, 日, 日. Next, 滋, 滋. The next, 吃, 吃. The last one, 思, 思. Now I'm going to read all of them in a fairly fast speed, so please follow me to read. 知, 吃, 诗, 日, 滋, 吃, 思. Moving on to finals, which you can also understand as Chinese vowels. The first line, O, O. The second, Yo, Yo. Second line, An, An. Yan, yan. Yuan, yuan. The next one, the last one sounds exactly like the third one, which is also yuan, yuan. Line 3, en, en. Yin, yin. Yun, yun. And the fourth one is like the third one. Yun, yun. Line 4. ang, ang, yang, yang, wang, wang. Line 5. Eng, ying, ying. And actually the next one, U-E-N-G, as a Chinese native speaker, I am 100% sure that we don't have this finals, we don't have the vowel, so feel free to just delete this from your textbook, okay? Now, the final line, ong, yong, yong. In order to practice the initials and finals combination, here let's move on to these pictures and let's try to read these words out and let's give them the tones that they should have. Now please read after me. Number 1. San, san. 3. Shan, shan. Mountain. 钟 clock. 羊 sheep or goat. 零 0. 菜 dish, or sometimes could be food in general. 手 hand. 熊 bear. 云 cloud. 星 star. 圆 Chinese money. 人 person or people. 船 boat or a ship, sometimes could be a ship. 床 bed. Now please be careful with these two words. The first one is 船, the second is 床. Please don't mix them up. 吃 to eat, that's a verb. 热 means hot, that's an adjective. Now I'm going to read all the words only once and in a fairly fast speed, so you can shadow read with me. Here I go. 山 山 钟 羊 铃 菜 手 熊 云 星 圆 人 船 床 吃 热. Okay, let's move on to more practice. Now I have 8 pictures. Let's read them all. 冰箱 fridge. 鸡蛋 egg. 司机 driver. 足球 football, soccer. 机场 airport. 爬山 hiking or literally climb the mountain. 手表 watch. 熊猫 panda. Now again, I'm going to read them all only once in a fast speed, so please shadow read with me. 冰箱、鸡蛋、司机、足球、机场、爬山、手表、熊猫。Now let's move on to part 2. Let's practice the neutral tone. Now technically we have 4 tones in Chinese pinyin, but there is an extra called neutral. When you say neutral, because it sounds really slight. Now let me give you examples. Let's look at the 4 pictures. Number 1, mama, mama. So instead of saying, there are the 2 characters are the same, right? Instead of using first tone twice, we just use first tone once on the same character, and then the second one we just use the neutral tone, so it becomes mama. We don't say mama, mama. That sounds a little weird, so let's make the second one slight. Mama. Okay, the second one, 爷爷, 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 grandfather. So we don't say 爷爷, 爷爷, because that would be 2 second tone, right? Now it sounds a little weird. Then let's say 爷爷. Number 3, 奶奶, 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 grandmother. Number 4, 爸爸, 爸爸, father. Now I'm going to read them all again, only once. Now please read after me. 妈妈, 爷爷, 奶奶, 爸爸. Now we have more neutral tone to practice, so please look at the following box. We have 4 lines. Let's read them line by line. When you see there is no tone symbol, you know that part you have to read it slightly. Now let's give it a go. 桌子, 桌子, table. 房子, 房子, house. 椅子, 椅子, chair. 柜子, 柜子, a closet or a cupboard, wardrobe. It could be different things. Second line, 他们, 他们, they, 人们, 人们, people. 我们, 我们, we. 弟弟, 弟弟, younger brother. Line 3. 衣服, 衣服, clothes. 儿子, 儿子, son. 喜欢, 喜欢, like. 认识, 认识, know. For example, you know somebody, you say 认识. Line 4. 先生, 先生, sir or mister. 朋友, 朋友, friend. 晚上, 晚上, evening. 漂亮, 漂亮, beautiful or pretty. Okay, let's practice reading again, but only once this time. Please follow me. 桌子, 房子, 椅子, 柜子, 他们, 人们, 我们, 弟弟, 衣服, 儿子, 喜欢, 认识, 先生, 朋友, 晚上, 漂亮. Now let's look at part 3, the rules of pinyin, how to mark the tone. And I think here I don't need to say more about it because obviously the English explanation here is pretty clear. Now we're just gonna focus on practicing the tones in the box. Let's read the phrases. Now line 1. 学校, 学校, a school. 帮忙帮忙 help 篮球篮球 basketball 女儿女儿 daughter 游泳游泳 swim 手表手表 a watch 终于终于 finally 公司公司 company 时间时间 time 身体身体 body or health 考试考试 exam or test 国家国家 country 报纸报纸 newspaper 好吃好吃 tasty or delicious 谢谢谢谢 thanks or thank you 客气客气 polite Do you remember when people say thank you 谢谢 and what should you say? One answer is 不客气不 means negative, means no. And 客气 is polite. So no polite means don't be polite. Okay, that means you're welcome. Don't mention it. 不客气 Moving on to the next box. Let's read them together. Line 1. 休息休息 Rest or to have a break. 睡觉睡觉 to sleep. 轮船轮船 a ship. 牛奶牛奶 milk. 啤酒啤酒 beer. 昂贵昂贵 expensive. Well, this is a formal way to say expensive. 昂贵 In daily conversation, we can just say 贵 贵 is already expensive. 留言留言 to leave a comment. 开会开会 to have a meeting. 讨论讨论 to discuss. 足球足球 soccer or football. 伦敦伦敦 London, the city. 湿润湿润 moist or wet or humid. 惭愧惭愧 feel ashamed. 水果水果 fruit. 陶醉陶醉 be enchanted in something, or you totally are lost yourself in a situation. But this is positive meaning. So when we talk about music, you're lost in the beautiful music, you're enchanted by it. You can say 陶醉顺利顺利 successful. Okay, come to our final part of today's lesson, which is classroom expressions. I personally think it's also important because when you have an one-on-one lesson with a tutor, with your Chinese teacher, of course, the teacher is going to give you some instructions, and if you don't understand, it's going to be a problem. So let's see some basic classroom expressions. Number 1, 打开书打开书打开 is a phrase, means open. 书 is book. 请大声读请大声读请 literally is please. 大声 means with a loud voice or loudly. 读 means to read So literally is please loudly read. 请大声读。再读一遍。再读一遍。再 means again. 读 means to read. 一遍 means one time. So literally is again, read one time. So I'll repeat. 再读一遍。一起读。一起读。一起 means together. 读 is to read. Together read. 一起读. So this could be used in a group lesson if the teacher wants all the students to read something together. The teacher might say 一起读。有问题吗？有问题吗？有 means have or has. 问题 question. 吗 is a word you always put at the end of your sentence to signal a yes and no question. So in English, it's like, are you, blah, blah, or do you, blah, blah. If you want to make a question like that, you have to say 吗 at the end. 有问题吗 works as, do you have any questions? Alright, that is wrap for today's lesson, everybody. And that's it for the whole contents in Lesson 2 from HSK Level 1 textbook. Let me know what you think. If you like my videos, please consider to subscribe my channel and like my video and leave a comment. 好，今天的课我们就上到这里，我们下次见，拜拜。